He is known for instituting the first recorded large-scale mission from Rome, the Gregorian mission, to convert the then largely pagan Anglo-Saxons to Christianity. He is recognized for his writings, which were more prolific than those of any of his predecessors as pope. His name is Pope Gregory I, commonly known as Saint Gregory the Great. Pope Gregory I, also known as Saint Gregory the Great, was a man of many accomplishments and contributions to Christianity. Born into a noble Roman family, Gregory lived a life of privilege and power, serving as the prefect of Rome at the young age of 30. However, his deep spiritual calling led him to establish a monastery on his family estate and dedicate himself to a life of prayer and contemplation. It was during his time as pope, from September 3, 590 until his death, that Gregory's true impact on the world began to unfold. He initiated the Gregorian mission, a large-scale effort to convert the Anglo-Saxons of England to Christianity. This mission marked the first recorded instance of Rome reaching out to spread its faith to a pagan nation. Gregory's writings also played a significant role in spreading the word of God, as his prolific works surpassed those of any of his predecessors as pope. But Gregory's influence extended far beyond his missionary efforts and writings. He was a talented administrator, using his prior political experience to govern the papacy with great skill. Under his leadership, the welfare of the people of Rome greatly improved, surpassing even the efforts of the emperors. He also challenged theological views, engaging in debates with Patriarch Eutychius of Constantinople and influencing the religious landscape of medieval Europe. Gregory's devotion to the development of Christian worship was also noteworthy. He revised the Roman worship practices of his time, earning him the title of the Father of Christian Worship. His contributions to the divine liturgy of the presanctified gifts, still in use in the Byzantine Rite, solidified his reputation as a leading figure in shaping the way Christians worship. Even after his death, Gregory's legacy lived on. He was canonized by popular acclaim and recognized as a saint by the Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, Anglican Communion, and various Protestant denominations. His influence extended to the arts, as he became the patron saint of musicians, singers, students, and teachers. In the annals of history, Pope Gregory I stands as a remarkable figure whose impact on Christianity and Western civilization continues to be celebrated and revered. Gregory, a name that signified vigilance and watchfulness, was born into a wealthy noble Roman family in the year 540. His father, Gordianus, served as a senator and held a position in the church, while his mother, Sylvia, came from a well-born family. Gregory's family had close connections to the church, with his great-great-grandfather having been Pope Felix III. This made his family the most distinguished clerical dynasty of the time. The family resided in a villa on the Celian Hill, facing the former palaces of the Roman emperors. Their home was adorned with frescoes that depicted their ancestors, and Gregory was described as having a tall stature, long face, light eyes, and a beard, taking after his father. Sylvia, on the other hand, was tall with a round face, blue eyes, and a cheerful look. They also had another son, whose name and fate remain unknown. Gregory was born during a period of upheaval in Italy, as the plague of Justinian swept through the provinces, causing famine and panic. The Western Roman Empire had already been replaced by Gothic kings, but Justinian I of the Eastern Roman Empire had been gradually retaking Italy. Gregory likely witnessed little of the fighting, as it was mainly in the north. It is believed that during the sack of Rome by Totila in 546, Gregory and his parents sought refuge in their Sicilian estates before returning to the city in 549. Despite the turbulent times, Gregory received a comprehensive education, excelling in grammar, rhetoric, sciences, literature, and law. He was highly regarded in these fields and was described as second to none in grammar, dialectic, and rhetoric. Gregory also had a deep understanding of Latin authors, natural science, history, mathematics, and music. He even had a fluency in imperial law, potentially preparing him for a career in public life. Gregory's physical appearance was captured in portraits made after his death. He was depicted as a man with a balding head, a tawny beard like his father's, and a face that combined features of both his mother and father. He had a high forehead, a thin and straight nose with a slight aquiline shape, thick subdivided lips, and a prominent chin. His hands were described as beautiful. In the modern era, Gregory is often seen as a figure at the crossroads of different worlds. He stood between the Roman and Germanic cultures, between the East and West, and bridged the gap between the ancient and medieval epochs. His diligent observance of God's commandments, as noted by Alfric of Eynsham, speaks to his devout nature and sets the foundation for his future philosophical and theological contributions. In the quiet solitude of his father's converted villa, Gregory found solace and purpose in the monastic life. With a deep respect for contemplation and the vow of poverty, he immersed himself in a life of prayer and introspection. It was during these years that he came to a profound realization about the power of inner silence. In that silence of the heart, while we keep watch within through contemplation, we are as if asleep to all things that are without, Gregory reflected. He understood that by turning inward and focusing on the divine, one could detach from the distractions and tumult of the outside world. In this state of inner stillness, he believed, one could truly connect with the Creator. Gregory's unwavering commitment to the monastic ideals led him to make difficult decisions in the pursuit of righteousness. When he discovered that a dying monk had stolen 3 gold pieces, he imposed a severe punishment. He forced the monk to die alone and then cast his body, along with the ill-gotten coins, onto a manure heap, condemning him with the words, "Take your money with you to perdition." However, Gregory's understanding of justice and mercy went hand in hand. After the monk's death, he had 30 masses offered for the man, seeking to assist his soul on its journey before the final judgment. He believed that even in this life, the consequences of our actions can begin to unfold, but he also acknowledged the importance of forgiveness and redemption. As Gregory's reputation grew, he caught the attention of Pope Pelagius II, who ordained him as a deacon and sought his assistance in resolving a religious schism. While Gregory's efforts did not immediately heal the divide, his dedication to unity and his commitment to resolving conflicts would leave a lasting impact on the Church. In his monastic years, Gregory's philosophy emphasized the transformative power of silence, contemplation, and detachment from worldly distractions. His teachings remind us of the importance of finding inner stillness in our daily lives, amidst the chaos and noise of the modern world. By turning inward and nurturing our spiritual connection, we can navigate the challenges of life with greater clarity and purpose. In 579, Gregory was chosen by Pelagius II to serve as his apocrisiarius, a position that would last until 586. As an apocrisiarius, Gregory was part of the Roman delegation that traveled to Constantinople in 578, seeking military aid from the emperor against the Lombards. Unfortunately, their pleas fell on deaf ears, as the Byzantine military was preoccupied with conflicts in the east. Despite his efforts, Gregory realized that the Byzantine emperors were unlikely to send the requested relief force to Rome, given their other pressing concerns. Gregory's main responsibility as apocrisiarius was to advocate for Rome's interests before the emperor. However, it became clear to him that pushing too hard could be counterproductive, as papal representatives who pressed their claims too vigorously risked being excluded from the imperial presence altogether. Imperial policy toward Italy was already evident, and there seemed to be little left for Gregory to do in this regard. Instead, Gregory focused on building connections with the aristocracy of Constantinople. He became popular among the city's upper class, particularly aristocratic women. While he may have become a spiritual father figure to many in this influential circle, his relationship with them did not significantly advance the interests of Rome before the emperor. Gregory's efforts to alleviate the hardships faced by Rome under the Lombards did not yield significant results. During his time in Constantinople, Gregory engaged in theological disputes with Patriarch Eutychius. These debates would leave a lasting impact on Gregory's theological perspective. They would also shape his views on the theological speculation of the East, leaving a bitter taste in his mouth. It is said that Gregory's debate with Eutychius culminated in a public exchange before Emperor Tiberius II, where Gregory cited a biblical passage supporting the view that Christ was corporeal and palpable after his resurrection. This exchange allegedly led the emperor to order the burning of Eutychius's writings. In 585, Gregory returned to Rome, leaving behind his position as apocrisiarius. He retreated to his monastery on the Celian Hill. In 590, upon the death of Pelagius II from the plague, Gregory was elected as his successor. His election was approved by an imperial decree from Constantinople the following September. Gregory's experience as apocrisiarius provided him with valuable insights into the complexities of diplomacy and the limitations of advocating for Rome's interests within the Byzantine Empire. While his efforts may not have achieved the desired outcomes, his interactions with the Byzantine elite and theological debates shaped his perspectives and influenced his papacy, making him a significant figure in the history of the Catholic Church.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.